Hi, America. So I just wanted to talk about a couple of things um, that I've noticed over the last week. So I ran into this YouTuber. Um, I think her name is Crystalline something. I don't know. She has a channel talking about swirling, which is a new term for me. I've never heard of that term before. Um, So, I mean, we all know that I think I've told you guys before that I've dated white guys, plenty of them, and I have a son that is by one of them. When I saw her video, well, honestly, I'm gonna tell the truth. Most of them I couldn't watch because they had no content and they're just like slow and boring. But I'm not trying to like diss her or anything like that, because I'm maybe when I'm gonna watch some more of them and see if I can find more substance. And but actually it was really disturbing to me to see a black woman encouraging black women to just turn their backs against black men, um, just so that they can go date white men. And I think one of the biggest concerns to me was when she's telling them to drop their identity and try to pick up on the white man's um, identity. Which, first of all, a black woman can never have the identity or even be accepted in America as much as a white man. We live in a white supremacist society. We live in black people, we live in terrorism on a daily basis. That terrorism that I speak of is white supremacy. Global white supremacist terrorism. So that's what we live in, and I think it's very important for us to realize that at this time where we're at. I mean, we just got Trump for our president, so you have white people running amok, thinking that they can say and do whatever they want to black people, and so it's really a time to be careful when you're considering dating a white man. Like you have to really take a step back and think, is this the time to do that? Period. I'm not even, let's just take off the board anyone to saying that you should or should not, whatever. Let's say it's totally fine and nothing, you would be is equal as dating a black man. This isn't the time to do that. This is not the time to turn your backs on your brothers and sisters and say, I'm going to identify with the white community, because that's not going to happen. That's just all going to be in your head. So you can say that you're going to identify with them. It is not going to work. So there's that. And then the danger is you're sending these women out to who? Because honestly, if you look at the FBI statistics, the majority of these people that are rapists, murderers, incest, child molesters are white men. So you're not telling them to educate themselves first. When she on her videos, she's not telling women to educate themselves. And so from my point of view, someone who's been there, I've been dating white guys since I was 19. So I know how it is. I know the ins and out, and the meeting the parents and meeting the grandparents, and the whole shabam. I know it all. Been there, done that. Okay. And when you're walking into that world, it's not all peaches and cream or swirling and ice cream and stuff like that. That's not how it is. And I'm not saying that any guy that you meet is going to be racist, but actually I am telling you that any white man that you meet is going to be a white supremacist. Period. There's no way around it. He can try to convince you that he's not, but he is a white supremacist. What you need to do is, if you're considering dating a white guy and on the first date, actually for me on the phone, before I even meet you, what do you think about white supremacy? And if they can't have a conversation with you about white supremacy, then nope, you need to walk right on, because you're not going to get along unless you totally decide not to address anything racial. So right there, you have to cut off who you are. Period. You live in a society that's ran by white supremacy. That is not something that's going to be easily done. You're not easily going to be able to just not talk about it or not deal with it. And a lot of white men do not want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about it. They're not apologistic about it, if that's the right way to say it. They don't care. It's not part of their life, so it doesn't make sense to them that, oh, now you're trying to be a downer, because that's how it's going to be. And so when I see this video of a black woman encouraging black women to not date black men, to instead date white men, as if to say that white men are better, I would like to know how she thinks they're better. So I mean, again, I will watch some of her videos and come back and talk about them, about what she thinks is better, because I know a lot of things about white culture, and I know how black men have been continuously beat down in this country. If there's anyone that white supremacy attacks the worst, is black men. And so for us to look at them and say, well, you don't have a CEO position, and you're working, you have this job, and this guy can give me a house and a car, and you don't have credit and stuff like that. But you need to look at the fact that they're not on the same playing field. They're just not. And to criticize and to say, well, you're no longer worthy, we're going to go here and look over here, that's something different. And that is, for me, I think you would have to have some kind of self-hatred in order to make that choice, if that's how you're making a choice, if that's why you're choosing to date white men, because you're upset with black men. That is not a good reason at all. I dated white men. I never ever felt the need to degrade or talk bad about black men. I don't have any anger or animosity or anything. That was never a reason for me to date white men. For me, it was just like, okay, I'm dating someone because that's who I like. And I'm sure there's some other underlining factors, because, when you're growing up, whoever is like a father figure to you, you tend to date that person. So if your dad's in the house and he's black and he's doing great and taking care of you, then that's who you would gravitate to. If that's not, I know that a lot of women, it's hard to gravitate to that, because you don't know what to expect. You only see really what your mom is dealing with the men. So I think first we need to realize why you would choose to date a white man, because that's a big question. If it's not a fad, it's not. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. If it's a fad, then whatever. I don't care if black women date white men. I don't care. It doesn't make any difference to me. I don't think that in general hurts our community. It's just whatever. And dating, I just mean like just dating. Not someone that you intend to marry, not someone that you intend to have children with. But if that's what you want to do, then do it. But first, you definitely want to talk to him about racism. I don't care whoever tells you you should not talk to a white man about racism and white supremacy is off their rocker. Because why would you date someone that perpetuates white supremacy and not talk to him about it? Because if that white person isn't doing anything to fix it, if they don't have a problem with it, and they're just dating you because you're fad and you're trending, black girls are trending, so let's date one. That's if he's never dated a black girl, you might want to ask yourself a couple of things, because if he's never dated a black girl and all of a sudden he's interested in you, no. No. If it's some old dude, he's fetishing. Mm-mm. He's fetishizing. So that's something too. And then you end up with some you're getting a white supremacist regardless. I don't care what you think. You can argue it with me, you can debate, you can ask yourself, "Oh, if they're white supremacists, then why do they want to be with me?" They just do. White supremacists. You know what? The slave owners wanted to be with the slaves. So while they were terrorizing and victimizing Africans, they sure wanted to be with them and they sure wanted to have sex with them. So make no mistake about that. Yeah, they will still want to be with you, and yeah, they'll still be racist, and yeah, they will still be perpetuating white supremacy all at the same time. So you really need to know what you're getting yourself into. If you're deciding that you don't care if they're racist or not, because I know some people are like, "Oh, I just don't want to ask because I don't want to know if he is or not." Then you just need to not date anybody. At this point, you might just want to take a seat and then, figure your stuff out. But if you don't want to know if someone's racist, yeah, that's bad. That's self-hate right there. I don't know anyone that wouldn't address that situation. It's a situation that most guys don't want to talk about. They don't. They want to act like, oh, slavery's over, and black people need to get past it. And I mean, they're not going to say that directly, oh, you guys need to just get past it, but they'll say stupid stuff like, oh, slavery was over and you guys have um free college, and you guys have affirmative action, so we're really the ones getting discriminated. It's like reverse discrimination. And with those people, you have to just like look at them and be like, okay, dude, you're fucking stupid. And excuse my language, I don't like cussing, but you need to tell them they're stupid. This is not right. This should not be how you're thinking. And the important thing to me on that one is, because you have all these white supremacist guys walking around that wants to fetishize and date black women, but they don't want to learn anything about them. They don't want to hear anything about them. They don't want to hear, oh, you're trying to make me feel guilty. No, dude, I'm trying to get you to face what I have to deal with, to look at it, to see it, to know me. Because if a guy can't listen to what you're going through, he does not know you, and he's not trying to know you. So there's another huge problem. If the guy can't invest time in you, why are you going to date him? And I still want to like reiterate, I don't think most black women can handle dating a white man. I don't think it's a good ideal. I think maybe 1% can handle, because you have to be very strong in your blackness. You need to really know who you are as a person so that you're not throwing your own people under a bus. And a lot of like that crystalline chick that I saw, um she seems like she would throw a black man under a bus so fast. And it's like, if you don't have anything nice to say about someone in your community, then you just don't say anything. You just let it pass. Talk about something else. Because you can find, with every one negative you can find about a black man, there's at least 200 you can find about a white man. So stop looking on this side for dirt and look at where you're trying to jump. Because if you need to look where you're jumping, not behind you. It's not a good idea to, certainly not to marry. Please do not marry one. And on a later video, I will explain to you more as to why it's not a good idea to marry them. But like, I want to focus right now on why just not to, don't jump onto this swirling fad, because that's what it is, a fad. And once the fad is over, the dude's gonna go find his white woman to marry her. I assure you to that. You're not meeting the parents, you're not, meeting the family or coming over for Christmas dinner. All of the family are white supremacists too, just so you know. So I think that, like, a lot isn't being told truthfully when it comes to dating interracially, because it's not simple, and it's not, if you come expecting like this dramatic Disney movie theory, you're going to be in for some very disappointment, just very, very disappointing situations, because that's not, relationships are relationships. When you throw in race against two races that have always, oh, excuse me, my back is hurting, that have always been at odds with each other, one side being terrorized by the other side, it's not easy. And the fact that we have been terrorized and we continuously are terrorized by these people, and it sucks and it hurts. And for me, it's very personal because I have a child, so it is very personal. So what I want you guys to know, everything that I wasn't told for sure. But it wasn't, for me, it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna date a white guy and let's go, see how this is. Like, dating a white guy should not be trending right now. No one should be doing a video or have a YouTube channel on telling people to date white men. I mean, because their chances of being raped, very high. Killed, very high. First, you need to start looking at, Craigslist killer, white. Ted Bundy, white. I mean, if you can look at all these crazy terrorists, they're white. They're white men. And someone's telling you to drop your black boyfriend and go get you a white one, because he is gonna be better than any black man. He's gonna treat you like a princess, and he's gonna rub your feet and just do the most for you. They're strong, they have good family values. Yeah, that's something. If you want to do that, learn for yourself. Do a lot of research first. Just do a lot of research and be ready to be very disappointed. Very. It's not even safe right now to do. So yeah, I guess that's all for this video, and I will make another one and talk about some more stuff. So like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.